eager to get the season going.
Listen, there's definitely some nerves, but it's mainly excitement. This is their first chance to showcase all the hard work they put in during the offseason.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Guard and off guard, filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. The big men on the floor for him, Randall and Gobert. And it's McDaniels at the 3 slot. Now, here's Johnson. Following the miss by Julius Randle, and the call will be against Julius Randle. That's his first foul. Jokic against Gobert. On the wing, Gordon.
Love the defensive pressure from Randall, using his size well to discourage the shooter.
DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. Six on the shot clock. And it's Denver with the rebound.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
Back to Brown. Trying to find Jokic. Gets it to him. Outside Gordon. Pass to Murray. Shoots it. Julius Randle with the rebound.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Here's McDaniels. Outside Edwards. Shoots the 3. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Well, it doesn't matter where he is on the court. If Edwards likes a look, he's going to take it.
Well, Coach, we know there's a lot of expectations tied to a #1 pick. Sometimes they fall flat, but that has not been the case so far with Anthony Edwards.
Oh, it sure as heck hasn't, Kevin. But I think it starts with Anthony Edwards welcomed the expectations. He wanted the expectations, and he has pushed himself to play to that level on a nightly basis, and he's done it. Look, for this offense, Randall being an effective catch-and-shoot option is crucial.
Brown, the pass to Jokic. Here's Murray, defended by DiVincenzo. Murray, good.
Look, we've come to expect this from Murray. He has a knack for hitting tough shots.
Bounce pass from Randall. McDaniels outside. Pass to Gobert. Over Jokic. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
Well, it's exactly what Gobert wants offensively. He wants to attack at the closest range possible.
Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Here's Jokic. Gobert with the block. Here's Randall, and he uses the glass on the layup. Randall's got 5 now.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That is his first foul of the game. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, kicks it out to Gordon. From deep.
Far from an ideal start, only 1 for 5. Let's see if they can turn it around.
Here's Randall. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Murray against McDaniel. It's hauled in by Gordon. The Nuggets trail by 8. Pass to Murray. Nice move. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Second personal foul.
And you assemble an all-swagger team. Jamal Murray, Stan, is on that roster.
Well, you're right, Kevin. And look, Where players really gain their confidence, their swagger, if you will, in this league is when you play your best on the biggest stages in the playoffs. Jamal Murray has certainly done that, and he has earned his swagger.
Dosunmu, he's checked in for Edwards. And so Murray nails both of them. And guys, hold on now. I'm getting word we have Shams Charania calling in. Shams, what do you have for us?
Well, a new ownership group taking over for the Timberwolves. There remains a commitment to continuity on the basketball side. And while creating a replacement for the league's second oldest arena is a priority, they made it clear their commitment is to remain in Minnesota.
You'll love to hear it. All right, Shams, we thank you for the report.
Well, you look at Randall's release, and he gets so much arc on his shot at times. It really works for him.
Murray. Yep, that one goes. Murray's got his second bucket of the night.
And how about the terrific use of the crossover there to just throw the defender off balance?
McDaniels outside. Gobert with a screen on Johnson. Inside, Jokic with the steal. To the inside. And it's Gordon missing.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
On the wing, Dosunmu. Gobert with a screen on Johnson. Shot clock at 5. McDaniels. Good on the triple.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. And a whole new lineup here for the Nuggets. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Kyle Anderson comes in for Randall. Clark, he's checked in for McDaniel. And Bones Island subbed in for Dante DiVincenzo.
Well, credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish.
Highland passes to Reid. Back to Highland. Reid with a screen for Highland. Off target with his three.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now here is Hardaway. 11-point game his last outing. With the step back. Reid with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 7. And here is Dosunmu. And he really played well against Denver. Hardaway for 3. Drills it from outside.
Just stopping on a dime. THJ. Nice job there with the pull-up.
Here's Dosunmu. Nothing on the board. A premier offense for the Nuggets, but defensively, Stan, there has been some slippage.
Well, they've had to make some tough financial decisions, letting some of their defensive-minded veterans depart in free agency over the years. They got to wonder who will step up, but it often takes young players a little longer at the defensive end.
The free throw drops for Dosunmu. And, Coach, one thing that David Adelman stressed was getting this Nuggets team in much better shape.
Yeah, it seems like they wore down in the playoffs last season. So improved conditioning and more depth potentially could help them hold up better down the stretch.
Jamal Murray, he's checked in for Denver.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
Now Hardaway. Down low. Here's Valanciunas.
Strong finish by Valanciunas. He likes exerting his will close to the rim.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Randall. The Timberwolves again can't hit. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to the Timberwolves. Murray with it. And it's Murray with the jam.
never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, you'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. The Timberwolves on top, up 2. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And another thing, Coach will be thrilled with the assist numbers, spreading the wealth and creating some offensive opportunities.
On the court for Minnesota, Randall and Reed holding down the post spots. Dosunmu is out there with Bones Highland. And it's Clark in at the 3, the small forward. Takes a step back. Here's Valanciunas.
What makes Murray so valuable? He doesn't just look for himself. He can also create for others.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Here's Randall. Hits the front of the rim and out. So for the Timberwolves, their last game a win against the Nuggets. Hardaway passes to Murray. That drops and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. Murray's got 10 points.
Well, when Murray has his attacking game working, it opens up more space for everybody.
Pass to Dosunmu. Randall is doubled. And here is Dosunmu. From the arc, drops in the tray. 5 points in the game.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from there.
Now here's Murray. He's got 10. Shoots over Highland. Off the left rim and out. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Stan Nasreed is a much-beloved player with the Timberwolves, the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year award winner.
Yeah, he is, Kevin. I'm not sure the fans in Minnesota love anyone more than they love Nasreed, not even Anthony Edwards. They appreciate his consistency, the effort he brings every night, the energy, and yeah, the charisma on top of all the skill.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Timeout.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. And the Nuggets making a change here. Jokic is checked in. And then for Minnesota, McDaniels, he's checked in for Clark. And Anthony Edwards subbed in for Highland. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Edwards inside, guarded by Hardaway. That one drops for him.
Well, I love when guys like Edwards work inside. Don't settle for jumpers. Get a solid look close to the rim.
Now, here's Brown. 9 points last game. Wide open look here for Murray. Good, and the assist goes to Jokic. Murray's got the lead up to 2 now for Denver.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. The Timberwolves coach, Chris Finch, said, "We're a team based on movement, cutting, and fluidity. That burden also falls on Anthony Edwards to move and accommodate his teammates. For his part, Ant said his focus is being what the team needs me to be, a leader by example, and showing them that I'm coachable." Kevin, back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. And here is McDaniel. After Jamal Murray was able to get that triple. Now here is Hardaway. Steps back. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to go on Nasreed.
Well, you know, a great thing about Jokic is the cohesion he brings to the team. His ball movement and teamwork are contagious.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Peyton Watson. Johnson comes in for Brown. And Christian Brown subbed in for Hardaway. Minnesota also making some changes. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Dosunmu.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And they double up Murray. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Well, when Gordon's team makes it this easy for him, of course he's going to throw it down hard.
And here's Edwards. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. They trail by 9 points. And timeout called by Chris Finch. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Stan, teams track different officiating crews, don't they, and how they tend to call the game.
Yeah, they do, Kevin, and there are some organizations who do it more than others. I'm not a fan of it myself because I think it puts your players' focus on the officials and takes away from focusing on what they're supposed to be doing on the court. So I'm not a big fan of it.
Randall with the bucket.
Man, that is a strong drive by Randall. When he gets downhill, he's a load.
Murray, the pass to Jokic. Shot clock at 6. And blocked the ball with his palm. What a defensive play. DiVincenzo kicks to Gobert. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Look at Edwards slotting home the 3.
Well, I'd say any play with Edwards on the finishing end has a good chance of succeeding.
Murray against DiVincenzo. Murray, good.
And he has his fingerprints all over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. And here's Edwards from the arc. And it's Denver with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
For 3, Murray, and the 3 ball is good. And it's a 9-point Denver lead.
Yeah, it just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Pass to Edwards. 1:30 left in the first half of basketball. And finished off by Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert making good on the threat of his height and length. Just hammering it down.
And Stan, the head coach, Chris Finch, bringing a culture of accountability to this Timberwolves team.
Yeah, Chris Finch challenges every player, Kevin, top to bottom. No sugarcoating Coach Finch's message, but at the same time, getting that buy-in that a coach has to have.
Here's DiVincenzo. Still yet to score. Pass to Randall. Brown against Edwards. Randall right side. And Gobert kicks to McDaniel. From downtown, good on that shot, and with that, the Nugget lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Edwards.
Well, that's his third three-pointer in this game, and 2 of those came in the second, so he might be heating up.
Now, here's Johnson. To the middle, here's Jokic. Gobert with the block.
Well, you have to be aware of Gobert. So good at blocking shots. He just controls the paint.
Edwards. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. What a performance by Jamal Murray. He has been the story for the Nuggets. And it was from three-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
We need a department store intercom. Attention all ballers, attention all ballers. We have a missing defense, paging the defense.
And it's time now for... And that concludes...
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. It's been one outstanding game from Jamal Murray.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting everything at the rim. He's playing smart and just taking what the defense gives him.
Out on the perimeter, it's going to be Brown and Johnson. Inside for him, it's Gordon and Jokic. And it's Murray in at the point guard. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Now here's Edwards. Here's Randall. Jokic grabs the miss. Jokic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Murray. Back to Jokic. Now here's Johnson. And here's Jokic. 6 points for him. Gobert with the block.
Well, just outstanding positioning and timing by Gobert. He tries to block as many shots as he can.
Timberwolves trail by 8. Left side, Edwards. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third.
I got yours.
Lets it go. Jokic grabs the miss. Jokic has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Greg, Anthony Edwards is full of confidence, and it's beautiful to watch.
And rightfully so. Ant can do it all on the floor. As complete of a wing as you'll find in our league.
Here's DiVincenzo following the basket by Jokic. Edwards, no good.
Well, this is not what they envisioned coming out of the break. Missing their first 3 shots.
Johnson outside. To the paint. Here's Jokic. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. Stan, you know, you think about the release point on Jokic's outside shot. It is tough to get to.
Yeah, Kevin, it certainly is. And the problem is if you start to come out of your stance to try to get to that shot, Jokic will just pull the ball down and beat you on the drive. Well, smart idea from McDaniels, looking to convert inside.
Here's Jokic. He's got 9. Johnson surveying the floor. Over to the left wing. Lets it go from deep. Julius Randle with the rebound. And so it's Randle bringing it up now for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Gordon with the defensive effort. Murray outside. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Edwards. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert is improving his perimeter defense as well, Greg. It's helped his overall game.
Yeah, teams have looked to pull him outside and test his lateral quickness. But I tell you, he holds up better than you think, and we know his presence at the rim.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Well, while we have a second, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a list of the league's top shooters from last season. Rudy Gobert, 3rd.
Put the ball in the bucket. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? I mean, just ask him. He'll have the answer for you.
Pass to Brown. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
How about the elevation from Brown there? He really gets up quick to throw it down.
Outside Edwards. Gobert with a screen on Brown. Edwards against Brown. Now here's Gobert. He's guarded closely. Good defense by Jokic.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Back to Johnson. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. DiVincenzo against Murray. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And so it looks like Denver will retain possession here.
All right, a chance to check out stats for DiVincenzo. Last season's performance for him averaged about 11 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Well, he's found his groove. He isn't forcing anything, and he's making the most of his chances.
Jokic with the bucket.
Boy, he's really turned it around since the break. In a bit of a rhythm now.
DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Back to DiVincenzo. Randle with the ball. Watson's there. 5 to shoot. Randle finds DiVincenzo. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Pass to Watson. Jokic a screen. Inside. Oh, and he pops it off the glass. Wow. McDaniels on the wing. That's in, coming off an assist from Randle. McDaniels got 4 points now in the quarter.
And this is something McDaniels continues to work on. Good to see him cash in off the catch.
Right now, let's take a second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Hey guys, Rudy Gobert talked about his objectives. He said, my goal is to be the best defender ever. And now my only focus is to win a championship and to keep impacting my team. Keep trying to make my team the top defense in the league. I think that's the best measure of an all-time defender. Guys, back over to you.
He can lock it down. Okay, Allie, thanks. And it's a completely new lineup for Minnesota. And we saw last season the Nuggets GA in the final week of the regular season making a coaching change and a shift in their front office.
A pretty rare situation. Seemed like there'd been a power struggle, and rather than choosing sides, the decision was to just make a fresh start.
Minnesota making a switch here. Shannon's checked in. So Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves franchise player. GA, how good do you think he can be?
Well, some were ready to anoint him the new face of the league, but if they're to win the franchise's first title, there's another level he's got to reach.
Now, here's Reed. Still without a basket. And with that, the Denver lead is cut to just 11 points in the basket from Clark.
Well, when you give him room like that, just expect it to go in.
Valanciunas dishes to Hardaway, and he finishes nicely on the way. Hardaway's got his second basket of the night.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now, here's Clark. Back to Highland. Puts up a three. He can't get that one to fall.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third. Hardaway with a wide open look. A three-pointer, no good. Timberwolves trail by 13. Here's Shannon. Clark outside. No good from outside. It passes to Hardaway. There's the three. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Denver Nuggets. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've got their feet. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Here's Highland. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Randle and Reed holding down the post spots. Bones Highland is out there with Dosunmu. And it's Clark in at the small forward position. Denver leading by 13. Here's Murray up on top. He's defended by Highland. And Valanciunas now atop the key. shooting foul. As the whistle blows, he'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to go on Naz Reid.
Yeah, staying involved. Valanciunas will get a chance at the line.
Minnesota making a switch here. Shannon's checked in. And good depth for the Timberwolves. It can be challenging sometimes, Stan, choosing who plays and who sits.
Well, Kevin, that's the kind of problem you want as a coach. But they've traded away a lot of draft capital to assemble this roster. Now it's about paying them to keep them together.
Hardaway for 3. The rebound by Dosunmu. Timberwolves trail by 13.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Shannon. Here's Highland. Off target from outside. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for Denver. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
The Timberwolves have gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Randall passes to Dosunmu. That's in, coming off an assist from Randall. Randall's got 4 assists in the game. And we've got a timeout from David Adelman. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. Jokic, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Edwards, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Denver's coach was going over with his team, and he encouraged them to stay focused and not get complacent, saying we worked too hard to get this lead and we're not going to give it up now. Stay connected, play smart, let's get this win. Guys, back to you.
Great work as always, Allie. Thank you. Timberwolves trail by 12 to the middle. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Hey, this is what Randall does. His movement and strength on the interior is hard to contain.
GA, just when you think you've seen it all. Last season, a father and son playing as teammates. NBA history continues to be made with the Jameses.
Yeah, LeBron and Bronny James taking the court together. And if other players can emulate the longevity of LeBron, perhaps it won't be the last time we see it happen.
And I wouldn't put it past him, guys, to eventually start hitting those, given what he did in the first half.
Edwards kicks to Reed. Pass to Randall. Back to Reed. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Denver leading by 10. On the wing, Hardaway. Edwards defended. It's stolen by Randall. And here they come. A 3-ball. That's good from Edwards on the assist from Randall. Randall's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And they have gotten themselves back into this game just in the nick of time. If that run had come any later, it would have been Katie bar the door.
Yeah, look, they've shown great resolve to work their way back into this one, but they're not done yet. They're going to have to grind it out.
4 on the clock, and the turnover again by Denver.
Yeah, what a disconnect. Sloppy play like that is something they can expect to come up in the film session.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Johnson comes in for Bruce Brown, and Christian Brown subbed in for Hardaway. Randall kicks to Gobert. Pass to Dosunmu. And a miss there on the triple.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Brown against Edwards. A nice shot by Brown.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Now Edwards. And they call an illegal screen here.
And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet, we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Gordon's checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Dante DiVincenzo. He's checked in for Dosunmu. Murray finds Jokic. And Jokic throws it down.
Well, you might think of Murray as just a scoring point guard, but he's also a great playmaker.
Randall outside. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
one made three for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Back to Gordon. Murray against DiVincenzo. Murray scanning the floor. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 7 rebounds in the game.
A key rebound there, but they can do a little better on the glass here down the stretch.
Gobert with a screen on Johnson. Here's Gobert. Big time jam. He was ready to receive and deliver.
Yeah, it just seems like every year Edwards gets more comfortable running the pick and roll.
And so David Adelman calls the timeout. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. And here's Jokic. Brown with it. Murray down low. Defended by DiVincenzo. Rebounded by DiVincenzo. Timberwolves trail by 9. Here's Edwards. A beautiful finish inside by Ant.
Well, when Edwards gets this hot, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
Now Jokic takes it from 10. That one is good.
Yeah, he makes it look so easy out there. The game comes naturally to him.
And here's Edwards. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. They've given up just 8 points in the 4th quarter. Here's Gobert. Jokic pulls it down.
Honestly, guys, that's a shot you expect your players to make.
Now Murray. 1:30 left in the game. Puts the move on. Gobert there for the rebound. Timberwolves trail by 9. Angle right side. Hustle points. Huge bucket.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
And I can tell you from experience, these are the types of things that drive coaches crazy.
Count it!
Well, every defense gives extra attention to Murray, but they still have trouble keeping him under control.
Edwards! And he misses the J. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
Here's Jokic. Outside Gordon. Lets loose a 3. Buries the deep ball.
Inspired tonight. They fought hard and at crucial points just made the plays.
Yeah, they saved their best basketball for this home stretch, and they certainly earned this one.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Outside Murray. He drills the 3.
Well, shooters shoot, and Murray is unquestionably a shooter. He's taking that look every time.
And so it's Denver taking care of business in this one. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid.
Nicola, congratulations.
Terrific, Allie. Thanks.